in this room has suffered some sort of headache. I myself suffer from migraines, and when I found out about cluster headaches, I found it very shocking because they say it's 10 times worse than migraines. Experts have suggested that it's one of the most severe pain known to medical science, and women that have these attacks say that it's worse than giving birth. In the book Cluster Headaches by Goldston and published on May 1999, says that the cluster headache is so severe that its nickname is suicide attack, the suicide headache. Today I will be sharing with you what a cluster headache is. My second main point will be what the causes and symptoms are, and my third main point is the treatments and triggers. To begin with, I'm going to be talking to you about what a cluster headache is. Cluster headache is very unique because it comes in clusters, meaning they come in cycles. They may have 1 to 2 headaches a year. They could come in the winter, fall, summer, spring, or fall, but they will always get it in that specific time. If somebody gets it in the winter, they will always get it in the winter, and if somebody gets it in the fall, they'll always get it in the fall. They may have 1 to 15 headaches a day, each lasting 3 to 5 minutes. Written in the book Cluster Headache and Related Conditions by Jess Dason and Peter J. Cosby, published December 1st, 2011, say that it's like an alarm clock because it will most than likely wake you up in the middle of the night while you're asleep, and it will always come at a specific time. If somebody gets it on Monday at 1 a.m. in the morning, they will get it on Tuesday at 1 a.m. in the morning. And I find that shocking, scary, because they exactly know when they're going to get it, and it's so precise. Although it's good because they can prepare themselves for when it comes to taking certain medications or things like that. Unlike migraines, it's affected more by women. Cluster headaches are mostly affected by men. It affects less than 1% of the population, and usually you get your attacks during your mid-20s, but you can always get it in your 15s. But the most severe, where you get it most constantly, is in your 30s. Now that I've talked to you about what a cluster headache is, I can talk to you about what some symptoms and causes. Oh, this is a picture so you can know how ugly that disease is. The symptom usually comes beginning from the eye. It can affect your right or your left side of your face, but it will only affect one side. According to the article Stat Console by Alpert and Passarelli, they say that your eye will droop, one side will tear, and you will have a stuffy nose and only affected on one side, and you will have a runny nose. People that suffer this describe it as an ice pick through their eye, or somebody trying to pull their eye out. And even though it's not literally happening, they feel it like that. The words they describe is deep, excruciating, and deep. When they have the attack, it's usually, they cannot stay still. They have to constantly be moving because if they lay down, the pain becomes a lot worse. The cause of cluster headache is yet not, it's unknown, but they do know the parts that it's involved. One of it is the hypothalamus, which is our biological clock, and that's why it comes in a specific season and a specific time. Another one is the trigeminal nerve, and that is our sensory part, and even if they're not, somebody's literally stabbing them, they feel it because that nerve is being active, so they do feel that pain if somebody is stabbing them. I'm going to be showing to you a short video of somebody getting an attack. 30-second video. Know better what these people go through. I'm going to be talking to you about some treatments and triggers that cause cluster headaches. Some of the treatments don't don't work for everyone. That's why there's not a pure cure, but there's stuff that work for some people and there's stuff that work for others. The most common that works for most people is the oxygen. People inhale 100% oxygen, and it usually works for most cluster headaches. Another one can be nasal sprays, as well as brain hormones. Doctors don't really go to the extremes of surgery, but I never use PowerPoint, so I don't know how to use it. Okay. They don't go to the extremes of surgery, but they do for those people that don't have, the nasal spray doesn't work, or the brain hormones or the oxygen won't work. One of the surgeries is called a trigeminal nerve, which what they does, it burns that nerve, and they cut parts of it so then they don't feel that sensation in their face. Even though they don't recommend it as much because it does cause long-term problems. Another one is the occipital nerve procedure, which is temporary. They put anesthetic in the nerve, blocking any pain. On the show that National Geographic called Drug Inc. Shares about a guy named Dan that takes hallucinogen mushrooms because nothing works. He gets them every season, winter, fall, summer, winter, all 4 seasons. So he needs to take them every 2 months. He doesn't like taking them, but he has to choose between suicide or magic mushrooms. And people take drugs like LSD, hallucinogens, because it takes away the pain, and that's why it's also post-suicide headaches, because they take risks of taking this really strong drugs, but they rather do that than going through the headaches. Now that all things considered of what I've talked about, I'm going to summarize what I've shared with you guys. I've shared with you guys what a cluster headache is, the causes and the symptoms, and the treatments and the triggers. I suffer from migraines, like I've told you, and it's the worst pain I've ever gone through. I hate when I have them, and after studying these people, what they go through, I realized that it's not that bad. I can just lay down, go to sleep, even if I go through everything. I think about these people and I say, you know what, this is going to be gone. I don't get 1 to 15 headaches a day, and it's taught me to appreciate my life and appreciate that I don't have, such sickness as those. And I hope that you guys learn something that is not really out there, but that, that is so, for me it's very interesting because it's the most severe known to anything. People will say that getting shot they'd rather get shot than doing that because it's a lot more painful than getting stabbed or anything. So I hope you guys like my speech.